Welcome, everyone. My name is Carlos Rodriguez, and I'm at the law firm of Kilgore Rodriguez, and I have the pleasure of welcoming Kellie Hill, judicial candidate for Cobb County Superior Court. Welcome, Kellie.
Thank you. And good afternoon, Carlos, Maddox. I want to thank you both for this opportunity.
Okay, absolutely. Now, let me give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and go ahead and connect with the viewers and voters of Cobb.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kellie Hill, and I'm currently one of the judges on the magistrate court here in Cobb County, where I've sat full-time for the last almost 4 years. And in addition to the magistrate court duties that I have, I also sit as a superior court judge by orders of our current bench. I handle felony cases as well as any civil matters that are related to protective orders and domestic cases. Prior to being appointed a judge, I practiced law for 25 years, and I worked in both the public and private sectors. 22 of my years were spent as a prosecutor. And as a prosecutor, I served as the director of public integrity. And I also prosecuted some of the high-profile cases that were handled in the office. Many of them were notable cases in our state. And I will just state that I led the prosecution team in the Fulton County Courthouse shooting case. In addition to my prosecutorial career, I also served as the managing attorney in a civil litigation firm. I worked also as a sole practitioner. I had my own business here in Cobb County, the Kellie Hill Legal Group, where I trained law enforcement. I also trained attorneys, and I handled cases as a criminal defense attorney. So I am a graduate of the University of Pennsylvania. I've also graduated from the Rutgers School of Law. And I've made Cobb County my home, along with my husband and 2 children, for the last 30 years. And I'm passionate about serving the citizens of this county in the role of Superior Court Judge.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kellie. You obviously have a breadth of experience in the criminal justice system, so I want to talk to you about a couple of criminal justice topics.
Okay.
First off, the late Justice Harris Hines would often say that a Superior Court judge is the most powerful person in the state of Georgia. How would you wield that power as a Superior Court judge in a criminal case?
Well, as a judge, I do recognize, and I don't take lightly, the power that the decisions I make would have. Through the rulings that I make, I understand and appreciate the impact that I would have on the life of individuals, as well as the impact on the community. And so I would wield that power fairly and with integrity and deliberately. I would make sure that parties have a fair opportunity to be heard and to present their cases. I also would make sure that I remain committed to the integrity of our process, meaning I would allow cases to be heard and rulings will be made in accordance with the law, as well as the specific facts and circumstances of each case. Now, in those instances where I have the opportunity to exercise my discretion, I will do so deliberately, and I will rely on my 30 years of experience to make those tough decisions in both criminal cases, as well as custody matters or any other matters that might be related to domestic cases. So I believe that the late Justice Harris Hines understood and appreciated how important the matters that are held in Superior Court are. And that is why I believe a well-qualified judge with the appropriate temperament and the patience to hear matters is extremely important when we're talking about a Superior Court judge. And I submit to you that I believe I am that person.
Okay. So, Kellie, what changes do you think need to be made to improve Cobb County Superior Court in regards to resolving criminal cases?
Well, actually, here in Cobb County, we are blessed to have a bench and a bar that are very good and very competent. But I also believe that change is always good. It's in the interest of advancement. It's in the interest of progress. In fact, many of us have been forced to implement changes recently in light of COVID-19. And if elected Superior Court judge, I actually would foster a court division where we would keep some of these recent changes. The first being the use of technology more. I believe if we can have attorney visits, if we can have some hearings where appropriate via the use of technology, that would cut down on the trips that attorneys have to make to the jail, trips that attorneys have to make to the courthouse. And in addition to that, it would also cut down on the sheriff utilizing his staff to transport inmates from the jail to the courthouse. That's an economic saving, but it's also it lessens the security risk of transporting inmates back and forth from the jail to the courthouse. The second change that I would foster the environment for as a Superior Court judge would be to encourage the attorneys for both sides, the criminal defense attorneys as well as the prosecutors, to communicate with one another via email or communicate with each other on the phone prior to the court calendars. And I believe that if we do that, which we've been doing recently, is having parties actually agree to resolve matters by consent, which will simply ask the judge to sign off on an order and cut down on court appearances again. Another thing would be if they're not able to resolve the matters by consent, they may be able to, at least at a minimum, narrow down some of the issues that actually have to be resolved at the court hearing. And this will result in more efficient court calendar calls, less time for the parties to spend sitting in court, and we can actually get criminal matters resolved effectively and efficiently prior to the actual court calendar. And the last change that I would suggest and implement would be working with my colleagues on the Superior Court to develop even additional accountability courts. And I believe accountabilities are helpful, and I would ask that we fostered an environment where they could actually be screened and qualified at an earlier point in the process, perhaps at the magistrate court level when they have their initial hearings. And this I would suggest because it, one, gets individuals screened sooner, they get into the program sooner, resources are provided sooner, and people can get the help and the treatment that they need sooner than later. If they do it at the magistrate court level, we're talking weeks after an arrest versus months after a case has actually been officially charged. So that would be some of the changes that I would want to foster as the next Superior Court judge here in Cobb County.
Appreciate you sharing your thoughts and perspectives on these criminal justice topics and talking with me today. I do want to give you the last word to address the voters and viewers of Cobb directly.
Okay, thank you. Well, first, let me thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And I'm going to ask to humbly earn your vote on May 19th. If you vote early, if you vote by absentee ballot, I am going to ask you to consider voting for me, Kellie Hill, for the next Superior Court judge. If I can answer any questions for you, if I can give you any additional information, please feel free to go to my website. That's www.electjudgekellyhill.com, and Kelly is spelled with an IE, so that's Kellie, hill.com. And I'm going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to remember that a vote for Kellie Hill is a vote for experience that matters. A vote for Kellie Hill is a vote for a judge who is committed to the integrity of the process. And a vote for Kellie Hill is a judge with a proven record and not just promises. I'm going to ask you on May 19th to remember to vote for the best qualified candidate for Superior Court judge. Please vote for the candidate who's at the top of the hill. For your next Superior Court judge, please vote Kellie Hill. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Carlos and Maddox, thank you very much for the opportunity.
We're happy to. And that was our criminal justice chat with the candidate, Kellie Hill for Cobb County Superior Court. Thank you.
Thank you.